Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So I just fancied coming on really and having a catch up. So yeah, we're well and truly into the new year now. Hope that's all going well for you guys. Whether you're, new year, new me kind of people or not, or however you choose to take it. Yeah, don't really I don't know. It's the kind of thing where not that you've planned what to say, but you know what you're gonna say. But as soon as the camera comes on, you're sort of like, what do I do? Which is my usual case in front of a camera. Unless, especially if I know I'm being filmed, I'm the kind of person who, I don't know, I think the best time to ever get a photo of me is when I don't know you're doing it, because then you'll just capture my true self. Well, not my true self, but I think we're all different when we know the camera's on us compared to when we don't know. As well, I think it's quite good to get in front of a camera every now and again, because you never know when you're going to need to. So first time I properly had to was first year of uni. So 2 years ago, and it was for one of my qualifications, so one of my personal trainer qualifications, and an assignment. We had to video ourselves training someone, and bearing in mind I'd never spoken in front of a camera before, and this was the kind of thing where in first year I was a lot different to how I am now. First year I was just so worried about getting it right. About getting it wrong, and I just wanted to get it right first time. And some of the people I was with, they wouldn't have to do a lot and they'd be smashing out A's and B's, and they'd be the one in the class where everyone talks about it in the sense, not in a bad way as such, but the good way, in the sense of, oh, they do this or they do that, and the teachers talk about them and stuff. And I've never been one of those people, but I've never really cared that much about that. It was more the sense of, because I was in that environment, I felt, and I'm a bit slow at times and I don't quite get there straight away, I felt a lot of pressure. And I remember when we first started to film, because we had to film certain things and put it all together, the first time the camera went on me, in a sense. So we had to do an intro and then go into it. As soon as we had the countdown, 3, 2, 1, I just started laughing and then burst into tears. I don't even know why, to be honest. I was quite anxious, but I think it's the sense of, we were all filmed, we'd be in pairs or little groups, and we'd all be in the class together. So it was like having a lot of people on you. And now I'm still a bit shy in front of the camera, but I'm kind of used to being filmed for things at uni now. It's for presentations we get filmed. I used to be so scared of presentations and just speaking in public, because we're not everyone's the best at speaking in public. Not everyone's the best at reading off boards or notes or anything. And I used to really worry, especially because I don't know, I'm dyslexic, and when I read things off paper at times, or off boards or whatever, or anything, I get my words muddled up a lot and I stumble a lot. And so I assume, I don't know, looking back at it now, it's quite silly, but I assume I was just so worried that I'd stumble up or, not be able to read it that well. Where now, other than a presentation two presentations I've recently had, I've sort of, I don't know, after that first one and first year, I've kind of just been I think because we were meant to do it and then it got rescheduled, and it kept getting rescheduled. It got to the point where I was just want to get it over and done with, really. So that's what happened. And then since then I've sort of been it's just a presentation. And I think as well, the older you get and more mature you get, and you've lived a bit of life, you just go through different stages and bits, you get the hang of it. So yeah, other than 2 presentations I had recently, which was my dissertation presentation and a sports conditioning one. But it's the kind of thing like, well, my dissertation one I was nervous about, but that was more because, I don't know, it's the kind of thing that it took me a while to really know what I wanted to do for my dissertation. And I'd slowly started to sort of get snippets and build things together, but there were some bits I was still figuring out. So I couldn't go into a lot of detail for some bits during my presentation, so it didn't really help. So I was nervous in the sense of, I don't know, because the dissertation's worth 2 units, that's a really big thing. But luckily the presentation's not worth as much as the actual written assignment. So I think I don't know, I had a week to get it done because of when I could present, so that only gave me a week, but I got there in the end and I still passed. And then the other one was the most recent one, but I don't really know why I was nervous about that. I think it was more the sense of we'd had, I don't know, a lot of issues within our group, and it was sort of the sense of, even though we know what we're going to say, we're still not sure what everyone else is going to say, and we just wanted it done. So I think it was more sort of frustration and then, like, I don't know, and then relief out of anything. But yeah. So yeah, uni. Yeah, I'm in my 3rd and final year. I've got about 4 months left until I fully finish uni for good. So I'm in my 3rd year, but technically I'm in my 4th, because when I first started uni, I got in through foundation year, and then if I passed that, which I did, I got full marks, I could then progress onto the course, which at the time was fitness management and personal training. And I got into that, and then halfway through the first term we could then pick our options for second year, so we got a chance of like 2 or 3 options that we could, modules which we could then do next year. And this was when I overthought quite a lot, because I was thinking in the sense of, and I think I was the only one who really did this, what I pick now could determine what I want to do as a job or in the future or anything. So I want to make sure I pick, the things that could help me the most. So I went to all my teachers and asked them what they think I should do, and where I'm currently at and everything. And most of them said, we think you're on the wrong course. And I was a bit surprised by that, because I was thinking, what do you mean? Like, sort of like, bugger. And basically I'm really into the science aspect of it. So, how the body works, the body and all those kind of things. And the management course was getting changed to being more management, so business and everything, which I don't mind, but I never really liked it. So I instantly changed, and I've managed to do a lot more, being able to have a lot more options with modules, apart from going into 3rd year, than the other course, because ours, they would allow us to take 2, have 2 things in the same block or something, where the other course, they could only pick one or the other. It's a bit like when you go for your GCSEs and you're picking what modules, there's certain ones in certain boxes and you can only pick certain ones depending on what you're doing. It's like that. So yeah, I then moved to the fitness and personal training course, the BSc. I'm not gonna lie, since switching, I've been so much happier at uni. I really have, and I've met some amazing people. And instead of being sort of in the other group, it was more, you have your own little groups and cliques and all that. Where in this, even though we do work more as a team, and it's just nicer. And like, we're all there for each other, and we're not judging each other. We might take the piss out of one another, but it's actually a lot better. So yeah, I've got 4 months left. I finish around May, and then I graduate in July. And then I don't start properly till, I think it's next week at uni, back after Christmas. But I've got an exam this week. I've got an exam tomorrow, which I've revised for. I revised over Christmas, but nothing was going in and I was getting stressed about that. So I just chose not revise, just enjoy Christmas and then come back and do it. And I've been revising on and off, but I'm remembering some things more than the others. And then now I found out I've possibly revised, not the wrong things as such, but different wording. So I've revised ACology and the prevalence, statistics and things. So that's essentially, for example, stroke or obesity, the statistics of, how many people get it or have lived or whatnot, and the factors and, what causes it, what's essentially seemed to be the main cause or things contributing to it. But then my friend found the actual questions, because we did see them, and then my teacher took them down so we couldn't see them. And there was a word called pathophysiology, which is essentially, what causes and contributes towards it. So I have revised the right things, but I possibly do need to do a bit more. And I only found that out last night, so I only have today to do it. So I'm a bit stressed with that. But yeah, and then not start my new job, but I've got a new job. I now work as an exercise coach at a local leisure centre, so I can put my degree to some use. So yeah, for those of you who don't know, I no longer work at Domino's. So yeah, I used to work at Domino's and I used to be a care assistant. I stopped those last year. So the care assistant one wasn't working with uni. And there's a long story with that, but I'm not going to go into that just because it was a lot to sort of go through at the time. And then Domino's, I quit September because I had to, with my wrist injury I couldn't work. So yeah, I've not had a job since then. And it's it's kind of been nice to just relax, since first year, really, end of foundation year going into first year, I've worked throughout uni and I actually quite like it, but it's actually been quite nice to have a weekend or have the evenings to just do extra work or just to chill and have that balance. But it does, I don't know, even though it's a bit, it feels a bit weird because obviously I've just got used to not working, but then it feels really nice because I now have something not only to look forward to when I finish uni, but just to, when you hit adult life, you work. So, but it's quite nice to be able to, I'm at a stage now where if I get a job, I want it to be with what I've trained to do rather than just, a little part-time job here and there. So it's quite nice to know I've got that now and it's something to do after uni. And then I had thought about, I really want to get into physiotherapy, but it's knowing how's best to do that. So I'm still trying to get work experience alongside a physio or in a hospital or something, which is something I need to do. So I either want to do a master's in physiotherapy or possibly another undergraduate, but I'm still thinking through my options. But I need the experience anyway, and then it would just depend on my uni grade as well. I'm trying to keep things open because when you finish uni, from what I've seen from people, I know quite a lot of people who've gone to uni, it's not always easy to know what to do when you finished. You plan for 3-4 years of your life in this bit. Feels long as hell, but it goes so quickly. So it's knowing where to put yourself afterwards. But yeah, yeah, pretty much. But yeah, uni's going really well. And then when I finish uni, my plan is to get going with driving because I still cannot drive yet after many attempts. But yeah, I'm slowly getting things sort of ticked off and done. It'll be sad to finish uni, but it will also feel quite good, I think. I don't know. I'm at that stage where feels a bit like you're in year 11 again. You're so close but so far. It feels like that, but then it feels sad because I actually have enjoyed my time at uni and I love learning things, but then it feels kind of nice and good. But yeah, pretty much. For any of you who are watching, do you go to uni or college, or, you know, are you studying anything or working? Let me know in the comments. And if you're doing any dissertations, or you're going to be, or whatnot, let me know what your dissertation's on. I'll do a whole video about what my dissertation's on. But yeah, it'll just be interesting to know, because I've watched some vloggers who I watch. She's in 3rd year. I don't know which uni, but she's doing sort of forensics, which is quite cool. And I watched them where she had to pick a dissertation, like topic, and like me, she had no idea, because quite a lot of people, like especially in my course, go for, you know, muscle contractions, or they test, or, you know, hook people up to things and stuff. And even though that's really cool and interesting, I don't understand it. I understand basic bits, but not enough to sort of do a whole project on and test people. So I think hers was looking at some of her videos to do with fingerprints and analysing things, which was quite cool. But yeah, let me know. Yeah, so give this video a like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.